Hey guys, welcome back to Diecast Reviews. Subject review on a Lightning McQueen from the new Radiator Springs Race and Rescue series. This is the big kind of series that is released for this year. Last year it was the GRC. This year it is Radiator Springs Race and Rescue, and they've gone all out with it. Lots of new releases coming up. Of course, McQueen here. It's the first one. Chick Hicks and Mater are already out as well in the same case. Sarge on here in the back is not out, but should be coming soon. And a whole host of other characters from all three movies. Assuming allegedly there's a book coming out as well, which, I mean, I guess it's nice that they're actually releasing something to go along with this series, because they never released anything for GRC, which makes me wonder that maybe there should have been a book or something for the GRC as well. But apparently there's a book coming out next September about the Race and Rescue series, which would be nice to get some explanation. But for now, it is allegedly a race and rescue thing in Radiator Springs. Not really sure what it is or what the point of it is, but maybe a kind of a rally race turned into a rescue fundraiser. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea what this is, but there you go. My thoughts on it. I wish they would have finished the GRC. That's my first thought, is that they were 4 away from the WGP, right? Lewis, Nigel, Rip, and Jeff. And my first thought is that I would have preferred to see them finish those 4. Is my first thought. And my second thought is that I would prefer to see them release new mainline cars instead. You know, Cars 3, Cars 2, Cars 1, stuff like that. Release new stuff. Because they did 2 new mainline releases this year with Jonathan Garrison, the Cars and Road character, and then Masha Ellenswrench with the Fiberfield crew chief. Other than that, no new releases in the mainline. Those are my 2 thoughts, right? Finish the GRC and do new releases. Those are my 2 thoughts. I don't really... I wasn't really looking forward to this line. Not a huge, I can't judge it too early. We'll have to take a look at all the releases and stuff. But as it stands, it's not my thing. And I would have much rather seen them, like I said, release new releases from the movies and finish the GRC. That's what I have to say about the Race and Rescue line. But I guess let's take a look at McQueen, right? Let's take a look at him, and I guess I'll say my thoughts on this McQueen at the end, I guess, and of course, I'm gonna see if I still think that way after the look at him. But I do like the card art there. That is nice. Logo's pretty cool. I do really like the background. The background's really nice. New for 2025, obviously. And then at the back of the package, of course, these 2 are in this case, Sarge, not released yet. They're entirely, of course. But yeah, that's enough for rambling. Let's get Race Rescue Lightning McQueen here out of the package. So here's Race Rescue Lightning McQueen out of the package, and in the background there, of course, you can see Race Rescue Mater and Race Rescue Chick. So those reviews will be coming shortly, of course. But now, of course, McQueen is the star of the show. So let's get right into it. So first off, the expression, interesting. It's not a typical expression from McQueen, so I'm glad that they've changed that up at least, I guess. So I think we have seen this before in some releases, but typical expression. I do like the fact that they kind of changed the eyebrows there, but like I said, not much to it. Taking a look here at the hood, you've got his Race and Rescue logo, which I guess is kind of the main logo they're going with here. It's on the card art. I assume it's kind of on every car, at least somewhere on every release. Take a look at it here. Of course, it kind of looks like a fire emblem, or fire kind of department emblem. You've got the RR there, Radiator Springs, and then kind of Race Rescue, kind of looking like Willie's Butte there, which I think is that's a pretty clever design. Race Rescue Sugar Flag. Yeah, not much to go over, just kind of a standard logo, but pretty cool. Taking a look here as well, I really do like that the lightning bolts are this nice bright yellow. That looks really cool. Of course, 95 there, headlights. Over the side, you'll notice a big absence of his typical number 95, and instead you've got a big rescue logo. Instead, you do have the 95. Of course, you have to have it, but it's tucked into the kind of left, right behind the front tire. And instead you got the big rescue symbol, text, I guess. So a little bit of an interesting thing there. I do like the fact that the rims there are different colors. You got red in the front and yellow in the back. I think that looks pretty nice. Of course, the lightning bolt kind of transitions into just a big yellow thing in the back. Kind of the yellow transitions into the spoiler. So there's no kind of end to the lightning bolt is the point, I guess. Of course, you have that emblem again. I do actually like the fact that the tires are different different colors. I think that's pretty cool. Move it there a little bit. But go to the rear here. Red. You have the yellow spoiler and then red here. Of course, Race and Rescue, and then number 95. You have Race and Rescue on the spoiler there as well. And then this side appears to be the same as the other side, with just a bigger Rescue logo. And of course 95 right behind the front tire, and then the kind of Race and Rescue emblem or logo right behind the rear tire. Got the signature in a nice yellow color there as well. And of course the big thing is he's got this big kind of bar here, lights on top. Interestingly, it's yellow, not, you know, police color or whatever. Red, white, red, and blue. It's yellow and yellow, so kind of like what a tow truck has, ironically enough. But yeah, pretty cool. Of course, you do have the roof flaps, very important. But kind of the big thing here is he's got these police lights on his roof. And then take a look at the base here. I can't see anything there, but U09A. So this was the 9th week of 2025, which is what, 4 weeks, so first week of March, I guess is when this was produced. I do kind of like this here, where the lightning bolt kind of transitions into the yellow that goes up into the spoiler, and then that same yellow comes kind of flowing down back into this lightning bolt. I do think that's pretty cool. But of course, let's take a look at this McQueen next to some other McQueens. I do have the kind of Cars 3 McQueen that was at the start of the movie. This is a China release, of course. I do like the paint job on this McQueen. You can see the expressions are kind of wildly different there. Of course, this is Thailand. This is China. But, I do like that the Race and Rescue's kind of in the Rusty's kind of style. So where you would have Rusty's, you have Race and Rescue instead. Rusty's there, right? And then of course Race and Rescue there instead. And you kind of got rid of the Rusty's. You moved everything to the right, right? The 95 moved over here, and then the Rusty's kind of moved to the middle and was replaced with Rescue. And then you added that emblem there. There's that McQueen. Of course, we did have McQueen released a couple years ago with light bars, or light bar, I guess. There's only one. Police lights on top, of course. Deputy Hazard McQueen released, what, 2023, I believe? As part of the Cars on the Road series, of course. Pretty cool McQueen. This is a top tier McQueen, one of the top McQueens in my opinion, just because it's so unique. Of course, you do have light bars, and there actually is quite a few similarities. Of course, here you've got kind of a police logo on the hood, and here you've got a fire logo on the hood. And transitioning that to the side, you've got the kind of rescue logo there, and then you've got the Deputy Hazard logo here as the sheriff's logo, and then you've got light bars, kind of, you know, fire, light, or whatever, light bars on the top, and you've got police bars here, police lights on the top. So some similarities there. This is a kind of police version of McQueen. This is a firefighter version of McQueen, I guess is the implication. But yeah, some pretty cool similarities here. I do think I prefer Deputy Hazard McQueen, though, to the Race and Rescue McQueen. I mean, it's just so much more unique, right, than the Race and Rescue McQueen. But, yeah, I mean, that's really it for Race and Rescue McQueen. I guess I'll give some final thoughts here. It's you know, again, it's not, if they did, I'm presuming they canceled, or not canceled, but didn't release a lot of new mainline stuff this year because of the Race and Rescue stuff. And if this is the type of stuff we're getting instead of new characters, or even GRC, finishing the GRC line, it's not great in my opinion, not great. It's a decent release, but it's not really that exciting. You know, maybe releasing a book when you release the diecast, or before you release the diecast, would be a nice thing as well, but I don't know. It's not my thing. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments below. Obviously, if you've picked it up, when you think of Race and Rescue, would you rather them do this or the mainline? Not a huge fan of the Race and Rescue stuff so far. Of course, there's only one. We've got a lot more to go. You can see those two in the back will be reviewed shortly as well. But McQueen, not a top tier. I guess, you know, for these Race and Rescue ones, I'll rank them or rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. We'll go 1 to 5 with a half points. 2.5, 2.5, 3. It's an average release. It's not great, but it's, you know, it's not the worst, and it doesn't make, you know, I don't hate it, but it's just, it's an average release. So we'll go with 3 stars. 2.5, 2.5, right down the middle. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Lightning McQueen, or Rescue Lightning McQueen, down in the comments below. He is hitting stores now. My stores kind of skipped over Jonathan Gearson and Masha Ellersreich, so I'll be getting those most likely over eBay, because at this point they're putting these cars out. That means they've skipped those 2 cases. But yeah, if I find them here in the Midwest in Illinois, I'm sure you guys can find them. Like I say, if I can find them, most of you all can find them as well, because I feel like Illinois and just the Midwest in general is the last place that gets stuff, new stuff in. So yeah, but they're hitting stores now. Target, of course. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.